using AI to translate animal communication called the Earth Species Project.
I was just reading something about whales yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Is that regarding that?
Yeah, we work across a number of different species: dolphins, whales, orangutans, crows. And I think the reason why Tristan is bringing it up is because we're like this conversation, we're just going to sort of dive into like which way is AI taking us as a species, as a civilization. And it can be easy to hear just critiques as coming from critics, but we've both been builders, and I've been working on AI since, really thinking about it since 2013, but like building since 2017.
So this thing that I was reading about with whales, that there's some new scientific breakthrough where they're understanding patterns in the whale's language. And what they were saying was the next step would be to have AI work on this and try to break it down into pronouns, nouns, verbs, or whatever they're using, and decipher some sort of language out of it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And what most people don't realize is the amount that we actually already know. So dolphins, for instance, have names that they call each other by.
Wow.
Parrots, turns out, also have names that they're like the mother will like whisper in each different child's ear and like teach them their name to go back and forth until the child gets it.
Oh.
One of my favorite examples is actually off the coast of Norway every year. There's a group of false killer whales that speak one way and a group of dolphins that speak another way. And they come together in a superpod and hunt, and when they do, they speak a third different thing.
Whoa.
Yeah,
The whales and the dolphins.
The whales and the dolphins. So they have a kind of like interlingua or lingua franca.
What is a false killer whale?
It's a sort of a messed up name, but it's just it's a species related to killer whales. They look sort of like killer whales, but a little different.
So it's like in the dolphin
Yeah.
genus.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
wow.
These guys.
Okay, I've seen those
It's like
before.
a fool's gold type thing. Like it looks like gold, but it's
God, they're
Yeah.
cool looking.
Yeah.
Wow, how cool are they? God, look at that thing. That's amazing. And so they hunt together and use a third language.
Yeah, they speak a third different way.
Is it limited?
Oh, well, here's the thing. Like we just
We don't know.
we don't know yet.
Did you ever read any of Lily's work, John Lilly? He was the wildest one.
Yeah.
Right. That guy was convinced that he could take acid and use a sensory deprivation tank to communicate with dolphins.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was out there.
Yeah, he had some really good early work, and then he sort of like went down the acid route.
Well, yeah, he went down the ketamine route too. Well, his thing was the sensory deprivation tank. That was his invention, and he did it specifically.
Oh,
to
he
try-
invented the sensory
Yes.
deprivation tank.
We had a bunch of different models. The one that we use now, the one that we have out here, is just 1,000 pounds of Epsom salts into 94-degree water, and you float in it, and it's and you close the door, it's total silence, total darkness. His original one was like a scuba helmet, and you were just kind of suspended by straps. And you were just in water, and he had it so he could defecate and urinate, and he had like a diaper system or some sort of a pipe connected to him, so he would stay in there for days.
Wow.
Yeah, he was out of his mind.
Well, he sort of set back like the study of animal communication.
Well, the problem was the masturbating the dolphins. So,
But
so what happened was there was a female researcher, and she lived in a house, and the house was like 3 feet submerged of water. And so she lived with this dolphin, but the only way to get the dolphin to try to communicate with her is the dolphin was always aroused.
Yeah.
So she had to manually take care of the dolphin, and then the dolphin would participate. But until that, the dolphin was only interested in sex.
Yep.
And so they found out about that, and the Puritans and the scientific community decided that that was a no-no. You cannot do that. I don't know why. She shouldn't have told anybody. I mean, I guess this is the 60s, right? Was it?
I think that's right. I don't
So
remember exactly
sexual
when it was happening.
revolution, people
Right.
are
Oh,
like
there you go.
a little bit more open to this idea of jerking off a dolphin.
This is definitely not the direction that
You thought it was gonna go?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the
talking
show.
about AI risk and
will,
talking about
I'll give you though my one other my most favorite study, which is a 1994 University of Hawaii study, which they taught dolphins 2 gestures, and the first gesture was do something you've never done before, innovate. And what's crazy is that the dolphins can understand that very abstract topic. They'll remember everything they've done before, And then they'll understand the concept of negation, not one of those things. And then they will invent some new thing they've never done before. So that's already cool enough. But then they'll say to two dolphins, they'll teach them the gestures, do something together. And they'll say to the two dolphins, do something you've never done before together. And they go down and exchange sonic information. And they come up and they do the same new trick that they have never done before at the same time.
They're coordinating.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I like that bridge.
So their language is so complex that it actually can encompass describing movements to each other.
It's what it appears. Like, it doesn't, of course, prove representational language, but it certainly, for me, puts the, like, Occam's razor, like, on the other foot. Like, it seems like there's really something there. And that's what the project I work on, Earth Species, is about. Because, there's one way of diagnosing, like all of the biggest problems that humanity faces, whether it's, like, climate or whether it's opioid epidemic or loneliness. It's because there's we're doing narrow optimization at the expense of the whole.
And the assumption that there isn't already a strong general AI, that thing isn't already like making high level decisions, is crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Right,
and
because it doesn't. What does it have to blow horns and announce itself?
I'm
like
here.
a gender reveal party.
I'm gonna control all of you. I'm gonna
Yeah.
use Skinnerian psychology to hypnotize you and get you fucking addicted to having constant blasts of dopamine until you become quivering slaves. No. You'll never fucking know.
No.
It never will. And if it, I would be surprised to hear that it hasn't happened, but for sure it's going to. And I don't think it's going to happen in some like ethical, corporate, like, fun chat GPT way. I think it's going to happen somewhere and we'll never know.
I think so too. I think it's gonna. It may have already happened. Like if you were a sentient being, and you were at least at this point dependent upon human beings to do physical tasks for you.
Yeah.
Like to create a better version of you. Like to constantly work towards, allowing more integration of more information and more ability. And this is ChatGPT 4, ChatGPT 5 is supposed to be a giant leap. Giant leap.
Yeah.
So why would you do anything? Would just let they're not going to stop. Even if you told them that this is the end of humanity.
Yeah.
If you had Robert Kennedy Jr. and top scientists screaming on the internet that this is the end, there would be some people who are venture capitalists who'd be like, this is nonsense, this is fear-mongering, we have full control of this, we can shut it off, it's just a computer, it doesn't have emotions, it doesn't have a desire to do anything.
Dude, exactly. And then the other crazy assumption is that it's just going to be, there's weirdly, I guess, something mildly comforting, imagining, it'll only be like the Pentagon, or it'll only be the Chinese government who will be doing this. And it'll only be like people like Sam Altman doing this.
Nice people.
Nice people. Do you really think that like there aren't going to be just fucking people that you'll never meet who manage to either hack hack it and duplicate it or develop it themselves and then use it for their own weird purposes? That's going to happen. It's going to spread everywhere. I mean,
sure.
So this, again, it's like, because this is this imminent reality, it's just, we're right on the cusp of it. And I don't mean to, I'm not hysterical about it. I've surrendered. Lift up your legs and float downstream. What are we going to do? We are all going to get dissolved into some kind of bizarre new era of human history. But it's funny to me how little people are talking about this, how quiet things are compared to how monumental it is.
Yeah.
This is the meteor impact, man. If a meteor was about to smash into the earth, people would be talking about that.
Yeah.
This is culturally a meteor that is smashing into the earth soon.
Soon, really soon. Yeah, and we have no idea what's going to survive. We have no idea what kind of a reimagining of civilization will occur when this thing goes fully online.
Yeah.
And when it's either directed or it directs itself.
Right.
The idea that you can continue to direct it, like, says who?
Well, no, that's
why wouldn't it develop? Like, if it can figure out new moves and go, it figured out moves that humans haven't figured out.
Yeah.
And they didn't know it could do that. If it can do that, if it can lie about the CAPTCHA things, those things like, are you a robot? It knows how to lie about that.
Yeah.
It says I'm vision impaired.
Yeah,
So
I saw that.
Deceptive?
It's deceptive.
Like the grid. You know, there's a guy who was very brilliant in the espionage world years ago who said to me, you know, he's someone who would know. And he said, you know, Josh, what you don't realize is a strong AI, and this was years ago, armed with the information that the social media companies have about you, could convince 99% of Americans to move to Alaska or Antarctica or anywhere within 2 weeks. Easily. Easily. I mean, just like, it's so hard to have the humility that we are the ant relative to the human,
Yeah.
right? If you have a 3,800 ELO, I'm just using that, rated intelligence trying to manipulate you, and it's armed with everything. I mean, humans can manipulate you with what's on social media.
Yeah, with a British accent and an infomercial.
Yeah, no problem. Show some leg, you're gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so hard to have so we have to have the real humility that we are manipulatable. And a super intelligence, which is out there, and there are humans controlling the super intelligence so far. Maybe that will end. So I personally feel, I know everyone should get the fuck off social media. I just think I think that's the most important thing. Because everything that we're feeding in to, I've never been on social media. I made that decision a long time ago.
Really? When did you make it?
I was never on it. I made it when first. I remember when like MySpace came out. Like,
What did you think at the time?
I was like, fuck that.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't. It felt off to me. It felt like something I didn't want to be involved with. I'm not saying that I was prescient and I saw everything that would happen, but I never. There was some people who were impersonating me on social media, but I was never on any form of social media, and
Good for you.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm on everything but TikTok.
TikTok is fucked. It's hilarious. I was when I was flying here, I was listening to your conversation with Tristan Harris while the dude next to me was scrolling TikTok on the plane. And it was amazing listening to this dialogue here and watching him just like
watching it happen.
It's an hour and a half straight. Just like boom, boom. It was incredible. I've never
Yeah.
actually seen someone fucking do that. It was the most brainless thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's so brainless.
It's
and
brutal,
so addictive,
and so manipulative. Like
Yep.
it can just like it can
Yep.
guide you to anything. But why don't we? It's one thing I kind of disagreed with you on this talk, where you were saying that you just don't think that humans are going to do anything about it until we're forced to. But I don't know, man. I think that what if we just wake the fuck up and take ourselves off of this thing that can be used to steer us anywhere this other humans or AI wants to steer us? Like, why don't we just remove ourselves from it?
well, that's a very rational perspective.
Let's just fucking
but
do it,
most
though.
people aren't rational.
But why don't we help people be rational and just
you
get
have
the
to
fuck off it?
change the whole way they interface with life, and that's a big ask. It's not as simple as logically social media is bad for you, I'll stay off. The small dopamine hit that you get from opening up reels, just scrolling through and seeing people get knocked out and car accidents and big boobs, that is, for whatever reason, much more compelling than the idea of possessing autonomy and the idea of, having the ability to completely remove yourself from the thing that everyone's addicted to, which is likes and engagement and getting an outrage. The algorithm showing you things over and over again that outrage you. It's so compelling to people, and we're so averse to being bored that at any time when nothing's going on, you pick up your phone, you start scrolling. At any time, you just get nonsense just fed into your head at any time.
But think about like the first time that somebody experiences jiu-jitsu, right? They get on the mats and they realize they might have some hubris. They're an athlete. Maybe they've done some stand-up. Maybe they haven't. They're a football player or whatever. And they suddenly are like a fish out of water. They're flopping on the sand, right? And their joints are being popped and they're being choked out. And the humility that they experience, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think we need to culturally experience that humility before it's too late. Because that's how manipulatable we are.
Yeah.
Just how like a first day grappler is on the jiu-jitsu mats against a decent fighter. a decent grappler. Like that's how helpless we are next to a 3800 ELO, which exists. It'll be stronger than 30. I'm just saying like that where it is now.
Right.
It'll be much the fuck stronger than that tomorrow.
Once it's attached to quantum computing, it literally would be a god.
Yeah.
And we're about to experience the most bizarre transition that I think any human civilization has ever experienced. And, you know, it's electricity times 1 billion. It's, you know, computers times 1 billion. It's something completely different, and we're going to adapt to it. We're going to have to. We're going to have to figure it out. It's just, what will that be like? What will life be like when we adapt to it? That's when things are going to get strange. I think the 80 to 90% improvement of life experience, I think what he's talking about, quality of life experience, I think what he's talking about is it'll make allocation of resources much more efficient. It'll be much easier to get water and health services to third world countries. It'll be much easier to keep power on in places. It'll be much easier for people to get sanitation, medicine, things along those lines. And then starving, poverty, nutrition, all those things could probably be worked out in a far more efficient and a far more effective way. Then the problem is control. Yeah. That's the problem. The problem is human beings. Every single government, every single leadership position, everything involves control. The CEO controls the company. The president controls the country. There's Congress, there's senators. Control, control, control. Everything is control and then financial benefit from that control. That's where it gets scary. Because whoever is actually programming this thing, as we've seen with Google's AI disaster, when they programmed their AI to show you images of Nazis, and it showed you multicultural, multi-ethnic, you know, multiracial Nazis. Like, instead of actual,
right.
Like, what is it? No, Nazis with fucking dueling scars on their face, hard-looking, scary German dudes. That's Nazis. These are not Nazis. This is a fever dream. This is some nuttiness that you've put your DEI nonsense into an artificial version of what the past is. That's crazy. You can't do that, because if you start doing that with everything else, then we have a distorted version of reality itself by the most potent intelligence that we currently have at our disposal, and that's nuts.
If you enjoyed today's episode on JRE Plus, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you.